Welcome back. You're here with Goldberg. Today I'll be talking about what to do if you get Vacceled. No, this is not a video concerning should you or should you not do it. That is ultimately a personal decision. You have to consider your own beliefs and your financial situation. The fact that Roosh says this and Destiny says that, the political narrative of the internet.com ultimately will not bail you out. Let me just say. For myself, it's a little bit of a conflict. On the one hand, taking it violates my religious beliefs, and morally, ethically, I don't like the idea of some old coot who scribbles something on a piece of paper, it's not even a federal law, and says, well, you have a choice. You can choose between not having a job and not being able to access most of the economy and putting this thing in your body, which we're not even certain if it's going to actually prevent the disease or the virus. Not to mention there are potential side effects. I don't know if the side effects are so common that it's really, oh my God, there's no reason to take this. But you should be able to say, I'm not comfortable. I'll wear a mask, I'll keep doing my thing. The fact that they don't let you have that option in many cases, I think is absolutely ridiculous. Now, here's the problem. Let's say it gets to SCOTUS and Pibzer is greasing Kavanaugh and Roberts, maybe taking them to the island of misfit boys. And they say, well, Biden overstepped, but kind of like Kirsty Noem in South Dakota, that old Yenta, she's a true conservative. Well, businesses have the right to do what they want. That's probably how they're ruled. What that means is you could still be in the same situation, whether it's your job or it's going out and about. And unless you have an exemption, which they could find a way around that and then later on get rid of you on an at-will employment basis, it is going to be complicated, I hate to tell you. And if you don't have resources, and all the people who are vaxxed have resources, where are you going to be in the future? If you don't have looks and you don't have status, you don't have money, what's your dating life going to look like? Not that it's much anyway right now, but it's going to be like, you don't have this shot? You're not going to touch this booty. Like, you're not going to get with Iggy Azalea. So for that reason, I might potentially take J&J. It seems to be the safest option we have in the U.S. right now. I am very apprehensive. I don't like the idea, but it is something you have to consider because if you don't have resources, where are you going to be? Now, I guess if you get sick, that's not good either. So it is a very difficult choice at the end of the day. Something to consider if you are Vacceled or you think you might be Vacceled in the future, what's your budget look like? Many folks carry these useless streaming services that they don't need. You can cancel those. If you have a gym membership but you never show up, there you go. Unlimited cell phone plans and you never use that much data, you can downsize a little bit. If you have credit card debt, try to consolidate it into something like a 0% balance transfer. And if you don't have a credit card period, you might want to open one because that's an emergency line just in case you have an expense that comes up. Also, keeping yourself healthy, what you eat and do you work out? It can be in your home, it can be used calisthenics, walking, whatnot, because you don't want to be hospitalized without insurance in the United States. That will be a lot worse for you than not having a job over the long run. Okay? Should you have like an expensive truck payment, you might want to trade it in. It's a hot market right now. You get a lot of money and then just secure something that you can pay off in cash, preferably more fuel efficient, less potential breaking down, having issues. As far as backup jobs are concerned, you do have the gig economy. And no, that's just not being a stripper for like $7 a pop. I tried actually the other day one of those delivery gigs where you pick something up. So I drove like 2 miles and made $7. It's not guaranteed. It is somewhat hand to mouth. Although I've heard of people on DoorDash and Uber Eats making decent money if you time it correctly. That is one of those situations though where you want to have a fuel efficient car. So get rid of the truck, as I said earlier. And you need to be kind of committed to it. The reason why this for now might be viable is that I think independent contractors are not party to OSHA regulations. However, you don't know if some of these apps in the future are going to start saying you have to upload proof of vaccination just to use our service or drive for us. I suppose you could try to get one that's fake, but I'm just saying they're going to close the noose or really tighten the noose as time goes on. Construction and trades are also liable to be not as vigilant when it comes to the vaccine. I've seen smaller companies advertising no shot required. Even the bigger ones, they might start saying you have to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they look the other way, or alternatively, they might just say, we're going to get rid of you, rehire you as a contractor, or even pay you cash, because certain skills are not easy to just, I can pick someone off the street. You can do that, but then you'll have shoddy construction you might have to go back and fix. So it's a trade-off. Another area of consideration would be remote work. Now, there are some companies that are trying to force the shot on people who stay at home all the time, which is illogical, but what can you do? Be careful with these gigs, okay? They'll say, oh, it's a good sales job. You make like $75,000, $150,000 a year. Many of those have no base salary. It's all commission, and they're constantly increasing quotas or sending you the same numbers to continuously harass people who don't want the product. So look for a company. I saw that one, it's only pay for what you need. They hire people and they have a decent base, so it's enough to kind of survive on. You're not entirely at the mercy of commission. You want to, if you're going to go that route, find something that has a base salary. Don't just do 100% commission, because that's a very stressful job. And frankly, sitting in a chair for 8 to 10 hours a day trying to sell stuff seems pretty horrendous. So you could consider that option. One big question I've gotten, so Goldberg, if you get Vacceled, are you going to do content creation full time? I really hope not. It's one thing that I don't aspire to, because I'm trying to get off of YouTube, if you guys have noticed. Once the Black Pill book is released, I'm going to just kind of say, okay, maybe get on a live stream occasionally, but I don't want to keep making videos because it's not like it used to be. It's actually really stressful making them, and then, half the time you just, I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. I'm not saying it's a burden. I'm not that interested in it anymore. So that's what I wanted to put forward. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Ultimately, I have to stress once more, it's a personal decision. Don't do it because you feel pressure from the internet to observe a political dynamic. At the end of the day, you have to make the decision and you have to deal with the consequences, whether it's positive for you or negative.